Hey, Fed. Obviously it's a good win. I'm curious because this seems to just be a trend, with this team the last two seasons, and you just losing huge leads towards the end of the game. Where do you think this kind of comes from, and how do you guys feel like you pulled it out tonight?
Well, obviously Tulsa is a really good program. They've got a really good team. Last year they won the league championship. And in college basketball, no game is over until it's absolutely over. And they showed a lot of they showed a lot of resiliency. But I was super proud of our guys for finishing the game out and finding a way to win the game. I was super proud of them for that.
Next question to Damon Sales.
Yeah, King, a win like this, I mean, it's not a pretty win, but at the same time, wins are important in this conference, and you can ask Houston about that after losing tonight. Just talk about the conference in general. How important is a win, an ugly win in this case, and also talk about what KD was able to do out there today.
Hey, Damon, how's everything going, man? You doing good?
I'm doing better, man. I can't complain. Appreciate it.
Great. Well, I tell you what, anytime you get a win on the road, it's absolutely great. I've never heard of such thing as an ugly road win. Like, you play on the road in these environments, especially with COVID going on right now and not a lot of fans. It's super tough. We had a long bus ride up here yesterday after coming back from playing 4 games in 7 days, and now I think we're playing our 5th game in 9 days. Anytime you have these opportunities to go ahead and be able to win these games, man, I'm super proud of these guys that pulled it out. And again, like we always talked about, man, we knew KD was going to bounce back, and what a way that he bounced back today. He was stellar tonight, showing why he was one of the best point guards in the country. And I was super proud of him, and I was super proud of the way the guys found a way to stick this deal out and get a W tonight.
Next question to Dick Humphrey.
Yes, you got your 4th road win of the year, and you only got 3 last year. How much of a factor are these reduced crowds because of the Wuhan virus?
Well, I tell you what, when you go on the road, it's really interesting because you go and play. Like today, there was a women's game earlier today, and we didn't get a chance to shoot around in the gym. We shot around in the practice gym. And then when you go on the road, a lot of times the rims are different. Tulsa's an Adidas school, so we're shooting with the Adidas basketball. That's something that's not familiar with us. And so whenever you go on the road, there's still so much adversity on the road from the way the game may be called, from the opponents are more comfortable there. And so there's so many different things that you're dealing with out there on the court. And I thought our guys did a really good job of just handling all the different variables out there and being able to execute the stuff that we want to do and be able to get a big lead. And we were lucky to hold on and be able to get this W. But again, I thought they showed some resiliency and were able to execute. We had to get 2 stops on the baseline at the end of the game to win this thing. And I thought they did a great job of communicating, being at the right spots, and finishing out the game.
Next question, Kevin Reynolds.
It looked like the rotation today was a lot different from games past, and I know some of that might have been just some of the injuries that you guys have been dealing with, but can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, at this time of the year, you can get a great boost from an unsung hero. And tonight I thought Will Douglas was absolutely tremendous. He came in today, gave us a great spark, played with some toughness, he played with some poise and some compassion. And I was super proud of him. I think after the last Memphis game, he didn't play at home against Memphis, but I saw him in the weight room afterwards, lifting weights, still in the gym, getting his shots up. And so that let me know that he was still into it. He was still locked in and wanted to play. And I was super happy for him tonight to be able to produce. And I thought some other guys stepped up too. Charles was really good. York came in. Isaiah JC was struggling with a few things tonight, but he still came in and gave us really good quality minutes. And I was really proud of the contributions that the rest of the team did too.
Next question back to Sam Blum.
Yeah, you mentioned Isaiah JC. I'm curious. So it looked like him. They showed something on the ESPN broadcast. It looked like he may have hurt his lower back. What was he kind of dealing with? And then also, since we haven't gotten a chance to ask about Darius McNeil, how serious is this injury, and how long do you think it can keep him out?
With first I answer the question about Darius. I think with Darius, who knows? He's been battling. He's been diligent with his PT, getting himself back healthy. And when he comes back, he'll be an added addition to this team, and he'll make us deeper. He'll give us some flexibility with the guards. He's a guy that's able to really defend. He can make some shots, and we can really use his contribution out there on the court. And I think Isaiah Jason just being, when you're a big guy like he is, when you're moving around, these beds aren't necessarily the size that you need when you're 6'10", 260 pounds. You got to sleep at an angle. You know, you got to sleep at an angle when you're in a hotel bed and just moving around. Sometimes you just got to get little twists and little things. But he was able to fight through tonight. He was an absolute warrior tonight. I thought he was huge for us. And I think Isaiah JC is such an unsung hero for us because he does so much stuff for us. He does all the hard work. He does all the gritty stuff. And a lot of times you don't notice it because it's post defense. It's boxing the guy out. It's ducking in and allowing other guys to be able to get some lanes to the bucket. So he does a lot of really nice stuff out there for us that makes his offense go, that makes life easier for some of the other guys out there on court.
Next question back to Damon Sales.
Yeah, King, let's talk intangibles, man. When we look at the stat sheet, you out-rebounded Tulsa. The thing that I'm looking at most here are the bench points, 26 bench points to 8. And that says a lot about the program. So just assess the intangibles and how much of a luxury is it for you guys to have so many contributors offensively. And I'm looking at the stat sheet. Vanderbilt went scoreless. So, that's still got to be a luxury for you guys to have so many people come in and contribute.
Yeah, Damon, I think, you look out there and you see the guys and you have so many guys that are able to step up and really contribute on a winning night. And if you look across the country, man, you look at the leading scores across the country, the best teams usually have a lot of guys averaging between 16 and 8 points. And you just have guys chipping in. You got to be able to plug pieces in. You got to be able to plug a shooter in when guys are going zone. You got to be able to plug an athlete in when guys are in and the game's getting up and down the court. You need to be able to get some backdoor cuts. You got to be able to turn the corner with the speed and athleticism. And we've got so much versatility on the bench that on a given night, man, we can beat you a lot of different ways. And I thought tonight you saw an example of that with our bench just really stepping up. And one of the things I was happy about the bench stepping up, it gave the other guys who normally play well an opportunity to root those guys on and be supportive of them. And I thought that was absolutely great. It's one of my favorite things to watch those guys do, man. When those guys come in, I saw Will Douglas hit that three-pointer in the corner and the bench loved it. I thought it was great.
Hey, Katie, congrats on the win. Obviously those last 3 games weren't probably what you wanted, for yourself. What were you kind of thinking, kind of going through some of those struggles and then coming into today and maybe, how you really put on today?
I was just staying positive through it all. I mean, I wouldn't lie to y'all and tell y'all I wasn't bashing myself. I wasn't down on myself. But Coach King, all the coaches, like from Jay Dunks to Stout to Yogi, they all was calling me every single night, staying positive, just telling me like when you're the best player on the best team, that they're gonna try to take you out the game. So going into the season, I knew this would happen. I knew I have a stretch where I'm not shooting the ball great. I mean, who doesn't? Even LeBron, Michael Jordan all had stretches where they didn't play great. I was just staying positive. My mom came up here and visited me, made sure I kept my head up because I think I was down on myself a little bit after the U of H game. I was down on myself. But I just stayed positive. Everybody, coaches, players, they just kept encouraging me, giving me confidence. And it just helped me a lot because it made me stay focused, made me stay in the gym, made me take the pressure off myself. And then after I was able to talk to Penny Hardaway, and he kind of gave me the respect and told me I was the best player in the league, and Kevin Sampson told me I was the best player in the league, I just took it up on myself to have that confidence.
Next question, Damon Sales.
KD, the best players will all tell you that after they have a slump and they hit that first bucket in a game post slump, it's almost like there's a weight lifted off their shoulders. Let me ask you, that first shot that you made, the 3-pointer, what did that feel like for you? And what did it do for your confidence for the rest of the game?
Typically, if I make or miss my first shot, I never go off that. But since I had been struggling, when I seen that first one go in, it was like a heaven. It was like I seen the rim. I seen an ocean in the rim, and I knew I'd have a good game once I seen that first one go in. And then once I seen how they was going under the screens, I just knew I was gonna be able to knock them down. The same looks I was getting against Memphis and U of H, they just got lucky that day. And I knew after seeing that first one go in, it was a long night for him.
Next question, back to Sam Blum.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is it. It seems like there's a little bit of a kind of a bug you guys have when you get up big late. Second half, it's a lot of blown leads or close to blown leads rather. I mean, where do you kind of see this issue coming from, and how do you guys fix it?
I think it's just a mindset. I mean, what got us to lead, we got to stay the course of what got us to lead. I think once we get a big lead, we look, all right, let the game be over. But the other team looking at it like, let's keep playing hard. Let's finish to the end. So I think we just got to keep growing, keep getting better. But it's just a mindset thing. We got to continue to play hard no matter if we up 20 points, whether we up 10 points, 5 points. We got to play like with a sense of urgency every single time.
Back to you, Damon Sales.
Katie, when you look at the stat sheet, obviously you'll see your points, you'll see Ferran's double-double, but then you look at guys like Charles Smith, 9 points off the bench. Isaiah Jacey didn't start tonight, had 7 points. What does that say just about your team and to where you guys can kind of go in and you never know who's going to have that big game on offense?
Yeah, man, we got some guys that can help us a lot. I mean, you see today, Charles one of the best. Mark my words, Charles is one of the best shooters in his conference. I mean, the more comfortable and the older and the mature he gets, you'll start to see it. I think one of these shots he just shot when I gave it to him in transition, he didn't even dip the ball. He just caught it at the set point and released. I mean, that's only what NBA players do, like JJ Redick now. So Will feisty. He's a competitor. So when his number called, he was ready. Everett was ready because, I mean, we are competitors. Man, JC unbelievable for us. So, I mean, we got guys. I mean, that ain't the question. It's just every day have the right mindset, not knowing if my number don't get called, I'm okay. But if it do get called, I'm going to give everything I got. And I think they did that today.
And last question, Sam Blum.
Yeah, Katie. I know we talked before the season about how you went through it a little bit with the COVID stuff. Seems like Jank might be having a similar deal. Have you guys talked at all about? I know you said he called you. Have you guys kind of talked at all about the situation, and do you feel for him at all?
Yeah, Jank is like to me. Man, when I seen him go through that, it hurt. It touched me a little bit, man. I never want to see Jank go through that. My love for Jank is like, I love Jank like crazy, man. So when I first heard he was positive, I was the first one to call him, man. We sat on the phone. I talked to him. I think UCF game, I called him right before the game and told him, Coach, I got you. And I think we ended up winning against Memphis. I told him I had him, let him down. I mean, so we've been staying in contact. After every game, he texts me. And then when I get home, I call him. We talk about stuff. We see what we get better at. And, man, I just can't wait till he get back normal. I pray for him every day. My mom shoot him a text. Man, we just wishing the best for him and his family. Just can't wait to have him back out here. I miss him the most, I think.